It's 5 a.m. Monday, and I'm going to do as many vlogs as I can in a row before I run out of steam and have to go to bed. And then I'll try to post any that I can post without editing. Because when I wake up, I will have to try to ignore YouTube for a couple of days while I meet my next deadline. No, this isn't Fake Sagan 2. The Enola Gay is still being loaded for its flight to Hiroshima. That's many days in the future. Fake Sagan has a couple new attempts at ownage about me, and I can't comment on them, obviously, since he's blocked me like a little pussy. But I would just ask anybody watching this to just watch them. And if you have the level of intelligence that makes me give a shit about your opinion, I suspect you will be able to come to a judgment I respect on who is owning who. And I think you will find that it is did I say hard case? Fake case, fake hard case, owning himself. And I'd like you to pay particular attention to his new charge of me setting up straw men, and decide for yourself, if you know what a straw man is, who is setting up straw men, not to mention grasping at straws. This is my cat. Fake, I warn you, if you make fun of my cat, you're going to lose the respect of even more people. So, Zelda, sorry. Yeah, I had my tripod up on my tower of hard drives, and I took it down to go back to my old video setup, and then I decided to actually sit in a different part of the room here for this little thing. So I wanted to do some of the millions of topics, or thousands of topics, let's not exaggerate, that have been squirming around in my head for months, and that for whatever reason I couldn't get to because I want to get to them now because I feel strangely freed by the competing pressures of my deadlines and the knowledge that we're in a breathless, timeless pause before the big explosion, which may just turn out to be just an unexpected happy ending. There's probably a 0.2% chance of that. It all depends on Fake Sagan. My best case projection is that he will do what he has to do, which will probably include, trying to blow off what I say, but that he might actually get what I'm saying. Or I guess I should talk to you, Fake, since I know that you're watching. You keep saying that I say I'm not owning you, and that's a lie, but maybe we have different definitions of owning. To me, owning means definitively defeating someone, and I'm not trying to defeat you, although I know that it seems that way to you, and it seems that way to a lot of the grinning members of the crowd who have just showed up to see a fight. What I'm trying to do, and if you use just a fraction of your intelligence, you'd know what's coming, and you'd know what I'm trying to do, is hold a mirror up to you and make you look in it. Because to me, the whole YouTube experience is about personal growth. And especially the atheist community, because there's nothing more squalid and depressing than a bunch of people who think they have gotten to the be-all and end-all of existence because they have determined that there is no God. It is just about the most anticlimactic climax to a life to be an atheist, and only an atheist. So I'm not trying to own you. I'm not trying to definitively defeat you and have... I don't care who says, you know, ooh, you really defeated fakesagan, because that's not why I got started. In your last video, you implied, I guess, or maybe you flat out said it. I wouldn't want to put specific words in your mouth, but it seemed that you were implying that you thought that I thought that you weren't a construction worker when I made that joke about doing all your construction work at night. No. I know you're... I have no reason to doubt you when you say you're a construction worker. I was just mocking you, which is not ownage, it's mocking. You know, making fun of someone does not definitively defeat them. So, you know, I'm more than within my rights of non-ownage to make fun of you when I just find you to be funny. And I was just making fun of the incongruity of an alabaster construction worker. But there was also a private joke, sort of like my "What Do You Meme" video, the subject of things that go on in my head that never get out to the general public. The reason that it suddenly occurred to me that it was awfully funny for a construction worker to be so white was that you started out your video as a wigger and thought that would impress me. And I mean, that was priceless. It was right up there with the Amazing Atheist waving a samurai sword at me in his kindergarten response to one or the other of my ASU videos. But speaking of straw men, you seem to be deliberately misinterpreting a lot of statements I make where I use adjectives, and you're way too smart to really think that I was quoting you as having used those adjectives. I was, again, mocking you. But really, you were just deliberately misinterpreting me for rhetorical effect. And one of the misinterpretations actually went the other way, in which you, when I accused you of projection, one might say diagnosed you with projection, and specifically mentioned the fact that you had fairly accurately, I thought, diagnosed One Less God as suffering from the effects of his pot smoking. Oh, you got upset about that. You said, oh, you didn't diagnose him. You deliberately brought that up in your video, and you specifically said that it was a crackpot idea. So you brought it up in your video to One Less God merely as a crackpot idea to dismiss it, I guess, to bring it up when no one else had brought it up before, just to help poor One Less God by defending him from the charge that he was pot-addled, that his paranoia and increasingly psychotic behavior might have a non-natural chemical source. Okay. Hard case, fakesagan, whatever. Then let's just say that I think it is projection, in that I think that it is a interesting crackpot theory to consider whether you, wine, and pot make a very shaky tripod. Yeah, yeah, and while I'm on this subject, speaking of paranoia and one less God and increasingly erratic behavior, you in this last video you make much of the fact that you had checked very carefully, and oh no, 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 I was unsubscribed. I was not subscribed to you before you blocked me. Well, either you're confused about the timing, you don't remember correctly, or you just weren't very careful, because I certainly was subscribed to you until after you blocked me, until I found out that I was unsubscribed after you blocked me. But what I find funny about this point that you make, should I go over to the computer and play your audio on it? Is that you go, oh no, no, something's going on. Something's going on. Geez, I don't want to be accused of misquoting you on this, so maybe I better go play the audio. Here, let's go do that. Oh, there. By the way, that is a funny picture. Comes from a video that I hope that anybody who thinks that's a funny picture of me will watch, because they'll be even more amused by the video it comes from. But anyway, let's play the audio.
You're responsible, not me. Oh, no. That doesn't hold water. Because I checked your subscriptions before I blocked you. And I was not one of your subscriptions. So, something fishy is going on here, MetaBitch. Now, clearly you were subscribed to me at some point, or at least you said that you were going to. But I'm not sure. I'm willing to bet that you unsubscribed after you left those comments. That seems plausible to me. In any case, you're up to something.
Okay, I'm up to something. Am I part of a conspiracy? Am I closing in on you? The many metabobs getting closer and closer to your perimeter? In your next reply to me, which I know you can't not do, please explain what, your crackpot theory for what my scheme could possibly have been to leave 3 comments and then unsubscribe to you without saying anything to anybody minutes before you blocked me. How would me unsubscribing to you at that moment serve my diabolical, nearly satanic purposes here? For that matter, how would my unsubscribing a day earlier or 2 days earlier, so that in order to find your video I would have had to go to your site, how would that have served me, since you do admit that at some point I must have been subscribed to fakesagan? I mean, I'm just interested because I love that phrase, something is fishy here. I'm up to something. I've told you I'm up to something, and well, maybe you don't know what it is. Maybe you don't know what it is. I said that I knew that that you owned yourself in your last video, and I stand by that. Imagination or not, I know that you know, unless you have had a psychotic break, you know that you owned yourself in that video. And in part 2, the objective evidence for that will be presented, and then the explosion will probably happen, which is why I feel so free right now. But where was I? I've completely lost train of thought. I'm so old that my short-term memory is just shot. What was I saying? Oh, you're paranoid. increasingly like One Less God. And I was alarmed at how crazy you were, how hysterical you were over your so-called property rights to the videos that you had taken down. You know, leaving aside the, I mean, I had a theory, it isn't a theory, no, it isn't a theory, it was just, it was my human response to what I had seen in you back when you were Hardcase. I felt I knew what was going on, but nevertheless I was alarmed, sort of the same way I was alarmed by the Amazing Atheist's responses to my ASU videos, because it was just so much more like what I expected than I expected, that I became alarmed that I had perhaps, you know, walked in too far. It's like a road rage incident where you suddenly realize the guy actually does have a gun. You know, anyway, but you're in Washington, right? You wouldn't come down here and kill me, would you? No. I mean, the Amazing Atheist is in Palmdale. I invited him to a screening just after he waved the samurai sword at me. So, you know, this is just YouTube, isn't it? It's not real. No one can be harmed, right? This is all virtual. You know, this isn't like Nightmare on Elm Street. I can't reach through the computer and literally pwn you, you know. But I've lost my train of thought. Oh, yeah. Not only was I subscribed to you as Fake Sagan, but I am still subscribed to you as Hardcase Owns You. And there you are. Hardcase Owns You. Right there between the YouTube vlog and the Masked Analyst. Interesting thing about you leaving as Hardcase. Thanks to you leaving, I discovered something very interesting about YouTube, one of YouTube's famous glitches. Turns out that although you're gone, all of the comments to all of your videos are still there. And they're available to anyone who ever made a comment on one of your videos and got a response from you or from anyone else on that message thread. You understand the formula there? Go to your video, leave a comment, and then someone else comments to your comment, replies to your comment. And if that happened, then anyone for whom that happened on a Hardcase Owns You video, or a One Less God video, or an Exiled video, can go and look at the comments, not the videos, but the comments. Well, here, I'll show you. Here is your video, Atheists Don't Pray. There you see, there it is in all its glory. And here are all the comments. And that was how I found out, because I was looking at a reply to a comment I had made on your last video when I discovered that you had closed your account. So what the hell was I doing on your thread if your videos were all gone, you know? And so I went back, you know, a day later and they were still there. Anyway, yeah, my last comment to you on the Atheists Don't Pray video was, dude, you're fucking yourself in the ass. To which Zoran7 replied, this is an opinion I respect. Love your poetry videos, MetaBob. Well, okay, that was as far as it went when you left. But when I discovered that the comments were there, I replied to Zoran. I said, thank you, but I'm replying mainly because, to my amazement, this thread is still up even after HC's account has been closed. So if you get notices of this reply, please reply back and or contact me and tell me you got a notice about this. Weird that the comments should live on after the vid is gone. Zoran replies, yes, he got it. It says, looking forward to seeing your Living Dead 3D film when it makes it to videos. I would put you into that lonely class of elite writers of Living Dead movies, Romero, Carpenter, O'Bannon, a prestigious lot. Zoran, please don't go after Zoran Hardcase. He hasn't seen the film. Not like you. You know, he probably hasn't even read the reviews that you know, that The Amazing Atheist read. So, please don't be too hard on him. I don't want to get him in trouble. Please don't block him. But to which I replied, Metabob, yes, I've... he says, well, what the hell did he say? I don't know what prompted me to say this, but I say, yes, I've since heard that you can reopen your account after closing it. So if HC does that, he'll find our little private conversation here waiting for him. And then I talk about Night of the Living Dead. Yes, I wish Night of the Living Dead would get the fuck out on DVD already, so I can put it behind me. I really am proud of it, warts and all, but I recognize, but you don't want to hear all this. It's on your thread. Oh, but that's the weird part, because you closed your account, unless you went to your own account with a sock puppet account, you're the one person who commented here that can't get back to your fucking comment threads. Now, I'm not, you know, this isn't something I've done to you. I'm doing you a favor. As so many of the evil creatures who swarm around you here on YouTube do, they pretend they're doing you a favor. So I'm going to pretend I'm doing you a favor by pointing this out so that you can, you know, if it's really important for you to have complete control over your public image here and pretend that you did not become a public figure by coming here because you have property rights, goddammit, because you should be able to control what you've said and take it back, suck it back into your mouth, you know? And these things are there and people can come and look at it. And if you don't believe me, let's see who else can confirm this for you. Judalicious 1971 can go to this thread. Oh, who else? Pokerster, Rabbit Ape, because when you came back as Fake Sagan, I sent a message to him to see if the thread was still functioning, because at that weird moment, when I was still, you know, kind of ambivalent, but on your side, and I'm still on your side. I know you don't wish I wasn't, because you'd never have heard of me if I wasn't. But anyway, Rabbit Ape responded, so he too can get back to this thread. Looks like 666 Norton 420 can also confirm that this is the case. So what I think you need to do is write a series of angry emails to YouTube about their glitches and or policies about leaving comments up after you're gone, because it's just a violation. It's a violation of the innate privacy that you have as a YouTuber. And or you could reopen, maybe, I'm not sure, I don't know the policy, maybe you could reopen Hardcase just long enough to erase every comment before closing it again so that they wouldn't be there. And it may be important to you, so I'm just, in the interest of helping you out, I'm just letting you know. I certainly have no interest in keeping any of these threads. Anything that I actually think of as, quote, evidence for some point that I might want to make, I've already saved as a web archive, and so has anybody else out there who's interested in this stuff. Hey, oh shit, wait a minute, Fake. Hold on a second, Fake. I did not mean to imply that I am the anonymous fake fan that caused you to write an 80-minute explanation of how you were protecting yourself from evil people and how you had called the FBI. No, that would be crazy to imagine that I was that person, wouldn't it? I mean, it would. Don't you believe me? Or, you do believe me, because look, I'm trying to be sincere here. You know, I wasn't that guy. There's no conspiracy against you. It's just me. Little me. So I'm glad you've stepped into the role of one less God. although you are vacillating between one less God and the friendly geek in your strategies. I'm suddenly very depressed because I always go into these things with this fantasy that everyone can change their direction in life.